Oh, I forgot to take the post-its out. By the way, these post-its are me just searching literary magazines, journals with open calls for unsolicited submissions because I am trying to submit some stories. And actually, I am doing the work of putting all this information in the master post that I will be posting maybe in the next week in my free tier on my Patreon. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, literary magazines / journals with open calls for unsolicited submissions. Probably the ones that I'm collecting now are like March, April, May. If you're looking for that kind of information, go check it out in a week maybe, and I'll probably have it up. I'm doing a 500 item list, so it'll take me a while. But I'll get it up because I think it's important information, and I always appreciate it when I find people who just post it for free, so that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, this is my review of Call Me By Your Name. I'm going to take the post-its out. So, I've read this before, watched the film many, many times, as everyone else has done, because come on, it's Call Me By Your Name. And I'm rereading it because last year I fell in love with another book by Andre Aciman, The Gentleman from Peru. And this year, I'm using it as a mic stand. This year, I started reading My Roman Year, which is another book by Andre Aciman, but it's autobiographical. And when I bought it, I was really into it, and I had started reading it. I was like, I can't wait to read it. So then I finished the book that I was reading, Normal People, before, and I picked this one up, but then it just didn't it. So I put it down, and I continued my reread of Call Me By Your Name. And after this, I'm going to pick up Find Me. Like, I cannot wait to see what happens, because we're not gonna get the movie because of who. So I need to know what happens. So I'm gonna read the book. But I just finished Call Me By Your Name, and I'm just gonna give you a quick review of this book, which will add absolutely nothing new to anyone else you've seen online. So yeah, stay for the entertainment only, I guess. My first and only impression of this book for a very long time was that it was horny. Very horny. Like, I feel like because I read this in my late 20s, currently in my late 20s, and it really reminded me of how horny we are as teenagers. I'd forgotten about that, but thank God for Call Me By Your Name, because I got reminded of how absolutely intense that first love, first crush, whatever it is, that first time you feel it for someone, how absolutely crazy, obsessive, intense it is. And I feel like a lot of people would probably read this and be like, Elio, chill. Because in the beginning I was like, Elio, chill. But we need to remember how it felt back then when you were like 15, 16, which is like, he's 17, I think, in the book. It is intense. And at some points I'm like, Elio, why do you need to see his poo? You know? But I understand. And to me, it's just such a precious thing to have a book like this that so well captures the intense emotion of when you're a teenager and you feel all these things and you feel like you're going insane for feeling all these things. And sometimes even when you're an adult and faced with the proper situation, you kind of sometimes go back to feeling like a teenager. I've never felt that in my late 20s. Not never. No. Anyway. No, I love this book. I think the prose is just exceptionally beautiful. I can only dream of writing something so beautiful as this is. And I think that I do have an issue a little bit with the age gap. I know this has been discussed, and I can kind of take myself out of the situation and think about how one feels when one is 17. And like, I understand that it's not that big of a deal because it happens all the time or whatever. But to me, it's still a little weird because he's much older, and Elio, I mean, not much older. I think it's like 24, 5 years. It's still a little wacky to me. Like, I understand, but I still feel a little, but I enjoy the book a lot. But I do sometimes feel a little weird about Oliver and some of the things he says and stuff like that. But I think the book and the author tries to make the point that Oliver wasn't trying to groom him or do anything like that, because when he tried to like make a move and he felt Elio kind of not into it, he immediately stopped and just left it alone, so much so that they only got together like in the very last week or something. So it's a situation where I think it could be problematic, but I think it's handled decently well. And it's so cute. It's so adorable. It's, like, I had a very touch-starved phase a few months ago when I was reading this, and this just did miracles for me. So, some of us are reading fairy porn. I'm reading Call Me By Your Name. This is going to be my downfall as a human being, is the fact that I'm a romantic. And where are the romantic people in modern age, hidden in their houses behind a phone because everyone is scared of being heartbroken? So we read Call Me By Your Name. And truthfully, the reason why I decided to read this book was because I was watching a video on YouTube about the comparing like the screenplay of the movie to the way that the dialogue was spoken. And I was so enchanted just from seeing the words written out in the screenplay that I knew I had to read the book. And this is my last point about my very short review of Call Me By Your Name, because there's nothing I'm going to say that hasn't been said before. This is the best technique to reading books. First watch the movie and then read a book. Never do it the other way around, because it's not going to work out, well. And yeah, that's my review of Call Me By Your Name. It's not even a review. It's just me telling you that I read it and I love it, and I completely fall to my knees witnessing this story, whether on film or on paper. And I will be reading Find Me in the next few days, potentially weeks, because I'm a slow reader, and I will give you a review of that. There must be many reviews out already, but my point of view is important. Okay, guys, that's it for me now. I will see you eventually. Oh, and if you haven't watched my video, my application to be your writing buddy, watch it, because I mean it. I'm gonna keep talking about it until I find a writing buddy. Bye, guys. Have a good reading week, or not. It's okay not to as well. Bye, guys.